You're still watching Ways Now. Let's face it, being the middle child sucks, right? You have an older sibling who you have to somehow live up to, and you have a younger sibling who gets all the attention, and you're left with no clearly defined role. In fact, middle child syndrome is a recognized concept, and birth order is believed to impact upon various personality traits. So as the middle child, you're not the leader, so you aren't able to have things your way. You're also not the younger one, or you're no longer the baby of the house, so you aren't as protected as you would have been, and you're certainly not excused for bad behavior. So it might seem like nothing ever really goes your way. Well, Middle Child Day provides a well-deserved day to celebrate those special children who were neither the firstborn nor the lastborn. Finally, a day where you get some attention, some love, and spend what's it called, an expense at the expense of your siblings. All right, so me, I'm a middle child, and trust me, all this one does not apply to me. I was all the attention came to me. I remember, if you ever meet Faith, tell her to tell you her 10th birthday. They thought I was the one doing birthday. They thought I was the one doing birthday. When she's there being quiet, and I said, "Don't worry, I will help you celebrate this birthday." Because I didn't do my mother didn't do my birthday. Okay. It was my sister, So middle child, actually, parents do neglect middle children. Honestly, they do. It's not intentional, right? It's not intentional. But somehow, I just had a very, very, I could do anything. But at some point, I felt like the attention was given to my older sister and my younger sister. I was just left all by myself, but I'm fine.
For me,
are you a middle child?
No. I really wish I was. Because I said if there is reincarnation, I would prefer a situation whereby I am the middle child, because there's so much responsibility that comes with the first child. There's a lot of responsibility that also comes with the last child, because that's the person that we always send on an errand. So I said, look, the middle child is like, it's like a free flow. You just move from one place to the other. Nobody bothers you. You don't really have any responsibility unless you have the first who is not responsible. So I think being the middle child is a blessing. It's
a blessing, right? Jennifer, absolutely. How about you?
Would I call myself a middle child? I'm the second born of 5 kids. Am I a middle child?
You are in the middle. You are still in the middle.
No, she's not.
I think for me, growing up, I had a lot of responsibilities. I mean, we were 2 girls, my elder sister and then myself. So we had like equal responsibilities. I mean, there was more on her, but I was daddy's favorite. So
as the last girl now, you were daddy's favorite. Well, today is for us. We're celebrating middle children. I am proudly a middle child,
and enjoy while it lasts.
Now I'm the one getting all the attention. Okay, so let me start with who has it? Okay, Jennifer, you have a different story for us. Ours is related to COVID, so let's hear what you have, your story.
Okay, so the village head of Dunse Aba in Zaria, he was saying how his 3 kids were adopted, and then they escaped from the kidnappers. Then they were all kidnapped on the 9th of June, alongside other people. I think 4 other people, and that's making it 7. So the kidnappers initially asked for a payment of 3 million naira as ransom, but only 4 people were released, and then they kept the remaining 3 kids who were whose father is actually the head of that town. And I think they asked for an additional 500,000, and then they refused to pay. The kidnappers on August 6th, they requested for 300,000 and motorcycle, Okada, and then the family also refused to pay. But I think that was like, I can't remember the dates, today is August 12th. I think it was yesterday or so. The kids were able to escape. So according to the oldest child, she said that the kidnapper, the one that was asked to watch over them, was sleeping. So she carried herself and her two younger siblings, and then they all ran. They ran with some other kids, packed all of them here, and then they ran away. And although they met.
Go ahead, Jennifer.
Yeah. So they said they met a man on their way leaving the kidnappers den, and he asked them where they were coming from, and then they told the guy that they were somewhere, so they were just leaving. He was like, "Are you sure you're not coming from a camp?" They said no, that they had to lie. He asked them several times, so they had to stand their ground to let him know that they were not coming from the kidnappers camp. But I think what struck me the most was the fact that the kidnappers actually had their kids and their wives living there.
Yeah.
That they allowed them play with their kids, to mingle with their kids. They weren't well fed, nothing like that. And then they saw people, they even saw a bride, like a new bride, and her friends were also kidnapped. Whether they kidnapped her on her way to her wedding or after the wedding, I don't know. The whole story is it's just annoying and very scary.
Very, very scary. I mean, it's a big business. We can't, most times they say that the quickest way to check when you see somebody's buying too many bathing soap or too many food, because the rich kidnapping that happened, sometimes they will have to take care of the victim, so they'll buy, you see them shopping excessively, so those kind of things are pointers. It's so sad.
Especially when you know the person that's buying these things cannot actually afford
them. Okay, quickly, let's hear your story.
Okay, my story is related to COVID, and it says Delta variant, FG won't consider fresh lockdown, says health minister. The health minister has said this today in Abuja, and he said that they also know that another lockdown will not be possible in Nigeria currently, because the federal government doesn't think that the lockdown is relevant at a time like this, especially when the Delta variant is out there. So the numbers that we have currently doesn't require the federal government to have a lockdown in Nigeria currently. But, however, they are also looking at getting more vaccines for Nigerians, so that they don't want a situation whereby everybody buys, donates to the country, but they would rather buy some as much as possible. Okay,
so quickly, my story is actually linked to yours. It's also in line with COVID-19 and the Delta variant. So as part of efforts to mitigate the effect of the third wave of the COVID-19 infection in Lagos State, the state government have fully activated 10 COVID oxygen treatment and sample collection centers, as well as 20 local government area-based COVID sample collection sites. This was revealed by the health commissioner, that's Professor Akin Abayomi. He noted that the centers, which were established during the heat of the first and the second wave of the global pandemic, have been rejigged and reinvigorated to provide swift oxygen therapy to residents who require it, and easy access to COVID testing for citizens who needed the test to test for the COVID infection. I remember, my husband was ill last week. He was saying, I just said, just for safety, why don't you test for COVID? Actually, where do you even go to test for the COVID? And that's the challenge. So imagine if we start to have, I was even saying that it would be nice to also have strategic hospitals around everywhere. Then I don't have to drive all the way to some places to go and get tested.
Frankly speaking, there are testing areas for COVID around us, even at Ajah Access. But because people are not aware of where you can actually go and have yourself tested for COVID, that means that it's as if you do not have it around you at the end of the day. So I think they should create more awareness.
I think that is what we need to do more. So let's look for the centers and say, if you live around the fair area, if you live around VGC, if you live around, so these are the areas that you can go get tested, because it's very important.
Especially at times like this where where we have the internet. All they just have to do is just put everything down in a website where one can actually go and have.
I must commend the Lagos State government. I know someone that, someone close to us that, you know, the husband just was discharged from the Yaba Isolation Center. I mean, the treatment was top notch. He had to use oxygen and all of that, but thank
Really?
God. Yeah, so I mean, they're doing a great job. We just need a lot more awareness.
More.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
All right, so we'll take a break now. It's a side chick matter. When we return from the break, stay with us. We'll be right back.